going on, guys? This is my 2024 Klx300sm Supermoto version. I am going to be installing these Protaper SE CR high bars today, but there is a couple other little things coming for this bike that I'm going to do a little video series about. Next, I should be getting the TST undertail delete in with an integrated taillight. I got a Delcovic slip-on coming with an O2 sensor delete and a couple other little goodies. But as the video title states, today we're going to start off with putting on the Protaper SE CR high bars. Let's get into it. Alright, so first thing I did was put my bike up on the stand just so she's a little stable and I don't have to worry about the bars rolling over on itself while it's on a kickstand. But diving right into it, first thing we're going to do is just pop off these mirrors. All you got to do is kind of give them, just a little bit of a turn, loosen, and it'll come right off. So same thing on both sides. There's no jam nut. Just grab it, even give it a little hit on the back, and they will spin right off. Like so. Alright, so next we'll start right here on the left side. There is two number 2 Phillips screws on the back of the headlight blinker switch. Take these off right here. All right, take the lower one out. For some reason, that one felt like it had like a Loctite on it or something, but I don't know, maybe it was like cross-threaded from the factory, but it was a little bit hard to take out. But anyway, we're going to take our switches and peel it off the bars. And what I like to do, just so I don't lose the screws, because that's all I do is lose everything, put this cover right back on, and then both screws are the same length. So just put these right back into the switch so we do not lose them while we're banging everything around. Just throw them in a couple threads so they're out of the way. Right here on the bars, there's a little pin. Pretty much just take that pin and push it right out of the hole in the bars, just like so. And that is now out of the way. There is also the switch on the bottom for the clutch position switch. There's a little tab on the bottom. Pull it out, looks like that, and you can tuck that right out of the way to the front. And while we're still on this side, we will take our 8mm and we will take off these two 8mm bolts that hold the brake lever assembly on. And once again, we'll just pop them out and throw them back into the bracket so we don't lose them. Just like so. Now over here on the right side, it is going to be the same situation. We got the number 2 Phillips that are holding the kill switch on. And pull these out and put them right back in so we do not lose them. Okay, once you have that cover off, you have the throttle cable coming in right here. What we're going to do, just pull the cable up, pop that right out. And we got the one on this side, pull it up and pop it right out. Just make sure you don't get them mixed up. Just kind of keep your eyes on which side was which. I tuck them right here off to the side and they will be all right. And take your grip with your throttle tube right off. Set that aside. And then you have these two 5mm Allen keys on this side. Why that there are Allen keys on this side and 8mm on the other side, I have no idea. But let's pop these two 8mm out and you can take the brake lever right off and tuck it out of the way. Also on the front side of the bars with the brake lever, you have this little pin that goes into the handlebars. just like on the left side for the clutch. Just pushes into the hole. That is in the bars. You do kind of have to work it a little bit. It is in there pretty good. And that's it. Now you can take the bars off. All right, and then all you have left to do is grab your 10 mil, crack the handlebar bolts loose, clamp bolts, and go pull the handlebars right off. I did not worry about pulling the grip off the left side because I have new grips for the bars. So all I have to do is cut the old grip off the throttle tube, and then I can put the new grips on the throttle tube and on the left side, and we'll be all set. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Protapers and I'm going to set them right in the clamps, and I'm going to center these hash marks as best as I can between the clamps. And then all I'm going to do is take the factory clamps, make sure you notice the arrow that they point up. I'm going to set the clamps right on, double check to see my hash marks, to see if the bars need to scoot over a little bit. It looks pretty center right there. Then I'm going to throw all the 10 mil bolts back in and just snug them up enough that the bars kind of stay still, and I can still rotate them forwards and backwards until I get them all set up, and then I can lock them down where I think the best position is for me. Alright, so the construction of this throttle tube is very, very thin, so I'm going to try to reuse it and cut this factory grip off. A lot of people just buy new throttle tubes because these are a pain to get off, but I'm just going to take a razor blade, cut at it very, very gentle, and see if I can peel it back and reuse the factory throttle tube. Alright, so that was actually kind of a pain in the ass to clean up, but it is 100% possible if you don't want to buy a throttle tube. While this is off, I'm going to take the 1-inch grip side, because the bars, you have a 7/8 on one side and a 1-inch on the other for the throttle tube, obviously. So while this is off, I am going to put this on the table and put the 1-inch grip on, so I don't have to fight with it on the bike. Oh, also, these have grooves in it. So you can use like a grip glue if you want to, but with these cutouts that are in the factory throttle tube, I really don't think it's necessary to, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to love these grips anyway, so I'm not going to put the glue on. You 100% can if you want to, but I'm not doing it. So what you want to do is when you have the grip fully flush with the tip there, you don't want to go over, there's a little ridge on the inside right here, because this has to sit in that channel inside the throttle, what do you call it, like switch block thing that we took the 2 screws out of. That sits inside and rides on it, so you don't want to put the grip right up tight against it. So as soon as you're flush with the end of it, which also we're going to have to drill out after it's on the bars. I'm going to drill it out because I have bar ends to put on the end of it, but that's it. Now we're going to move back to the bars. All right, so now we're back over at the bike. I'm going to put this grip on the bars before I put any of this stuff on, so I know my spacing and everything. These bars have marks so you can cut them down if you like. These are about a 1/2 inch wider on each side than the factory bars, and I actually like it like that. I want them a little bit wider so I can leave it just how it is and put the grips on. Alright, so I just took the whiz wheel and shaved that nub down flush. So hopefully, the only thing I'm worried about is this will still have enough like clamping power to keep this from spinning. But I'll tell you one thing right now, I don't think it's gonna. So I'm gonna have to figure out what to do about that. Alright, so I took and shaved down that nub, and what I'm gonna do is take a piece of the grip that I cut off, and I'm gonna put it right over that nub. So hopefully when I clamp this down, it'll have enough like clamping force plus a little bit of rubber. Hopefully it'll help it from slipping. So let's try it. Actually, I probably should. Oh, no, okay. Put that on there first. All right, that thing it's pretty solid. I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to take the mirror or either the clutch lever and keep it uptight against this to almost keep pressure towards the grips, just so it keeps it a little more tension. It is pretty solid though. So yeah, the clutch lever on. All right, so I just had a brain blast here. The clutch lever clamps have the threads for the mirrors, and I'm not sure if they're the same thread as the mirrors I bought. So I'm actually gonna take these clamps and put them on upside down. For one, it'll look a lot cleaner up here, but two, I wonder if I can mount the mirrors that I bought to these instead of having to clamp another clamp onto the bars. So I'm gonna run these right up tight and clamp these down upside down and see what happens in the future. All right, I'm not gonna really crank these down yet because I'm going to get the bars set, you know, the angle that I want them, and then I'm gonna have to set the clutch lever where I want it. So I'm just gonna snug that up for now. I can take the plug for the clutch switch, put that back in, plug that back in, and we can move on to the right side. All right, so back onto the right side, I pulled the cap out of the end of the bar end, and I got a 1/2 inch step bit, and it is just a little bit of play in there. But before I put the throttle tube on, I'm actually gonna take this and ream that out. So now I should be able to fit my bar end in at the end. I might have to ream it out a little bit more, but at least then that is done so I don't scratch the bars when I drill it. All right, so now with the throttle tube on, holes drilled. This side, with this being, you know, holding the throttle tube and holding your throttle cable, not having the stud on the back is kind of making me nervous. So as much as I don't want to do it, I am going to drill a hole into the back of the bars at the correct position here, just because I can imagine this throttle cable or throttle tube turning with the bracket and like getting stuck open, and the last thing I want to do is ghost ride this thing into the woods because, you know, I neglected to drill a hole in the bars and this spun on me. So I'm gonna take a drill bit, mark this out, and drill a pilot hole, well, not drill a pilot hole, and drill the hole in the back of the bars, and we should be all set. All right, so I had to bump that up to a 13/64 hole. and that actually fits perfect. That locks right in, and it actually stays there on its own. So now I can hook up the throttle cable and put the side back together. All right, so I don't know why that fought me so bad, but I think the easiest way to do that was to put the cable in this first, the lower one to wrap around to this side, and then lay the top one in. But man, I don't know why that fought me so bad or why I couldn't remember that, but ridiculous. Now, hopefully I can spin this to the pin that I made right there. Bang, look at that. That can fall right in, no problem. Get the screws in and that'll be all set. Really need like a third hand on that one. I do kind of wish that I thought about drilling the hole in the bar on the other side. Not that the other side really matters too much, it's just, you know, the headlight switch and the blinkers. But thinking about it, the throttle, that kind of made me nervous. If that ever spun or it got hung up or something, that probably wouldn't be good. So I'm glad I took the time on this side to mark that out and drill that. So look at that. Man, look at the action on that bad boy. All right, cool. So now all I gotta do is mount the brake lever and yeah, I think that's it. All right, once again, I'm not going to lock these levers down until I figure out where I like the position of my bars. So with that all set, I think everything's hooked back up. I am gonna clip these little plastic tabs that were in the old bars in the other holes. I'm gonna cut these off quick, take the bike off the lift, and sit on the bike, get the bars where, you know, I like it, and I'll lock these down. All right, guys, that's it. Bike's back on the ground. Bar ends are on. I do recommend, do not buy these Tusk Racing bar ends. They are pieces of shit. This side fought me for, I think, longer it took me to put the bars on. That side fought me. I had to pull it out, put it in, pull it out, put it in. I couldn't get it like the right tension, so I had no tension on the throttle. But yeah, that's it. Sat on the bike, tightened down the clamps. Everything is all set. Levers are where I want them, and they look 10 times better than factory. So that is it on the Protaper bar install. Like, comment, subscribe, and you will see the TST undertail with the integrated taillight in the next video. These don't spin.
No, they don't spin.